Ancient Ohio, the Great Serpent Mound. Close your eyes and imagine a serpent so massive it stretches over a quarter-mile, its coils weaving across an Ohio hilltop, jaws wide open as if swallowing the sun itself. This is the Great Serpent Mound, a prehistoric wonder that's slithered through time for thousands of years, leaving archaeologists, historians, and even Native Americans grasping for answers. Built by a lost culture in the Ohio Valley, this 1,348-foot-long earthwork isn't just a mound, it's a cosmic riddle aligned to the stars, perched on the edge of an ancient meteor crater. Who shaped this serpent? Why build something you can only truly see from the sky? And what secrets does it whisper about the people who walked these lands long before Columbus ever dreamed of sailing? I'm the Ancientologist, and I spend my time uncovering the parts of history they don't teach in school. Today, we're diving into the enigma of the Great Serpent Mound, peeling back layers of a monument that's as majestic as it is mysterious. Smash that like button and subscribe to join this epic journey. You're not going to want to miss a single second. A serpent in the soil. Let's step back to Adams County, Ohio, where a grassy ridge cradles one of North America's most mind-bending monuments. The Great Serpent Mound stretches 1,348 feet, a 3-foot-high effigy of a coiling snake, its head gaping around a 120-foot oval, its tail spiraling into 7 tight curls like a cosmic spring. First mapped in 1848 by the Smithsonian's Ephraim Squire and Edwin Davis, this wasn't a random heap of dirt. It was a deliberate masterpiece, layered with yellowish clay and ash, reinforced with rock, then capped with soil. The serpent hugs the curve of a hill above Brush Creek, right on the edge of a 5-mile-wide meteor crater formed 250 million years ago. Was it a temple for the gods, a guide for the dead, or a marker for something beyond our grasp? The builders left no words, no names, just this massive writhing symbol staring at the sky. Picture hauling tons of earth to shape a serpent that'd outlast empires. What kind of vision drives that kind of work? The builder's mystery. Who were the masterminds behind the Serpent Mound? That's the question that keeps us up at night, and we're still piecing together the clues. Mainstream archaeologists point to the Adena culture around 300 BC, based on a couple of carbon dates from a small dig. Others argue for the Fort Ancient people around 1000 AD who lived in the Ohio Valley and built other mounds. But some, like Graham Hancock, push the date way back, 12,000 years or more, citing alignments with ancient skies that don't match today's stars. Nearby, Adena graves hint at a mortuary purpose, maybe guiding spirits north, but the mound's scale and cosmic design feel bigger, like a shout to the heavens. Were the builders local farmers turned visionaries, or did they inherit a sacred site, rebuilding it over millennia? The mound's been reshaped, layered, and tended like a living thing. Imagine pouring your life into a monument, knowing it'll speak for you long after you're gone. What kind of people leave a legacy like that? Cosmic alignments. The Serpent Mound isn't just a sculpture, it's a celestial machine, ticking in tune with the cosmos. In 1987, Clark and Marjorie Hardman showed its head aligns with the summer solstice sunset, a perfect match that's slightly off now because of Earth's slow wobble over thousands of years. Researchers Fletcher and Cameron found the serpent's coils trace solstices and equinoxes, while Ross Hamilton argues the whole mound mirrors the constellation Draco, with its ancient pole star Thuban sitting at the center of a cosmic circle. The coiled tail even mimics the precession of the equinoxes, a 26,000-year cycle of the stars that'd make your head spin. This wasn't a casual art project. It took serious astronomical know-how, the kind that rivals ancient observatories like Stonehenge. Picture standing on that hill, the sun sinking exactly where the serpent's jaws point, the stars overhead whispering their secrets. What would you feel knowing you were part of that ancient sky dance, connected to the cosmos? A sacred landscape. The Serpent Mound doesn't just sit on any old hill, it's in a place that feels alive, pulsing with meaning. Perched above Brush Creek, it's part of a 5-mile-wide meteor crater, a scar from a 250-million-year-old impact that uplifted the Earth's crust. Core samples show traces of iridium, a rare element tied to meteors, hinting at a cosmic connection. The Ohio Valley's littered with mounds, conical, platform, effigy, built by the Adena and Hopewell, turning the region into a sacred network where the dead were honored and the heavens watched. Nearby springs bubble up, cliffs loom, and the ridge itself feels like it's holding its breath. Was this spot chosen because it felt like a bridge between earth and sky? Imagine walking that land, sensing something bigger, something ancient, in the air. How'd they know this was the place to build a serpent that'd echo through time? The art of the mound. Building the serpent mound was a feat of grit and genius. It's not just a pile of dirt, it's a layered work of art with yellowish clay and ash packed tight, reinforced with rock, then blanketed with soil. The serpent's curves hug the hill's contours, its head poised at a cliff's edge, its tail spiraling with a precision that feels almost mathematical. No wheels, no metal tools, just hands, baskets, and an unshakable vision. The oval at the head, some say an egg, others the sun, adds a layer of mystery. Was it a symbol of creation, life, or the cosmos? Picture artisans under a blazing sun, hauling baskets of clay, shaping a snake that'd slither through history. Every coil, every layer was a choice, a story told in earth. What kind of skill, what kind of heart does it take to sculpt a monument that stares down time itself? Serpent symbolism. Snakes were a big deal in ancient North America, and the serpent mound is no exception. The Adena crafted copper serpent pendants, their sinuous forms glinting in the firelight. The Hopewell wove snake motifs into pottery and textiles, tying them to power, renewal, or the underworld. The mound's open jaws, maybe swallowing an egg or the sun, echo myths of creation, rebirth, or cosmic cycles. Some see parallels with Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent of Mesoamerica, a god of wisdom, wind, and the sky. Was the mound a nod to a shared serpent cult stretching from Ohio to Mexico, or something unique to its builders? A guardian spirit? A cosmic map? Imagine a priest standing at the serpent's head, chanting to gods or ancestors, the air thick with incense and mystery. What story do you think this snake was meant to tell? The meteor connection. The serpent mound's spot on a meteor crater's edge is no small thing. It's like the land itself was touched by the stars. Formed 250 million years ago, this 5-mile-wide crater holds traces of iridium, a rare element linked to cosmic impacts. Some speculate the builders sensed this spot's power, maybe even mined iridium for rituals or tools. Geologist Mike Hansen argues the area's geology comes from tectonic shifts during Africa's collision with North America. But the mound's placement feels too deliberate to be random. Could it mark a sacred site where the sky crashed into the earth? Picture standing on that ridge, the ground beneath you scarred by a cosmic event, the air humming with ancient energy. How'd they pick a place so charged with history, so alive with the cosmos? A timeless renovation. The Serpent Mound wasn't built in a day. It's a site reborn over millennia. Carbon-datable materials like bits of burned wood hint at activity stretching back thousands of years, maybe even 12,000. Graham Hancock suggests it's far older than the Adena's 300 BC, pointing to solar alignments that match skies from 10,000 BC. Like Mexico's Cholula Pyramid, layered over older structures, the mound may have been a sacred site, repaired and reshaped by generations. Each coil, each layer could hold centuries of devotion, like a canvas painted over and over. The builders didn't just create, they maintained, honored, and reimagined. Picture yourself tasked with tending a monument for thousands of years, adding your own mark to its story. What would you add to keep its spirit alive, to keep it singing to the stars? The Lost Obelisk. Here's a wild twist that'll make your jaw drop. At the center of the oval in the serpent's jaws once stood a stone obelisk, toppled by settlers in the 1700s or 1800s and pushed off the cliff. Rediscovered in 2017, this moss-covered 5 to 6 foot stone lies half buried at the ridge's base, its surface blank of carvings but heavy with secrets. Some claim standing in the oval's center messes with a compass, hinting at magnetic quirks tied to the meteor crater's iridium. Was the obelisk a ritual pillar, a cosmic marker, or something we can't even guess? Imagine hiking down that cliff, brushing dirt off a stone that's been silent for centuries, feeling its weight in your hands. What do you think it meant to the builders, standing tall in the serpent's jaws? Catastrophic echoes. The Serpent Mound sits in a landscape carved by catastrophe, a land reshaped by forces that'd make your heart race. Around 12,000 years ago, Glacial Lake Agassiz, a massive meltwater lake, unleashed torrents that scoured the Ohio Valley, carving channels like the Minnesota River Valley. These floods, carrying icebergs the size of oil tankers and boulders as big as houses, left scars across the Midwest. Potholes at St. Croix Falls, scablands near Lake Nipigon. Some speculate the mound's builders lived through or remembered these cataclysms, encoding their story in the serpent's coils. Could it be a monument to survival, a testament to a world reborn after flood and ice? Picture living in the shadow of such chaos, raising a serpent to mark your place in a world turned upside down. What would it feel like to build in the wake of such destruction? The ancient astronomers. The Serpent Mound's builders were no amateurs. They were skywatchers with a grasp of the cosmos that had put modern stargazers to shame. Ross Hamilton's work shows the mound's coils align with the Draco constellation, its tail mimicking the precession cycle's spiral, a 26,000-year dance of the stars. The head's solstice alignment and the body's lunar markers suggest a deep understanding of celestial mechanics, rivaling the observatories of ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, or Teotihuacan. This wasn't just art, it was a calendar, a temple, a map of the heavens etched in earth. How do so-called primitive people master astronomy without telescopes or written math? Picture them huddled under a star-filled sky, plotting every coil to match the cosmos, their eyes fixed on Thuban's ancient glow. What kind of knowledge did they carry, locked in their minds? A global serpent cult. Serpents slither through myths across the globe, and the Serpent Mound feels like part of that ancient thread. From Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, a feathered serpent of wisdom and sky, to the rainbow serpent in Australia, a creator weaving the land, snakes symbolize power, rebirth, and the underworld. The mound's cosmic alignments echo Stonehenge's solstice markers, Teotihuacan's star-aligned pyramids, even India's Naga cults. Trade goods, Pacific shells, Gulf Coast beads, maybe even Indian jade, hint at networks linking Ohio to distant lands. Was the Serpent Mound part of a global vibe, where ancient peoples honored serpents as cosmic guardians? Imagine traders crossing continents, carrying tales of snakes that tied Ohio to a worldwide web of belief. What connected these far-flung cultures? What shared dream wove them together? The enduring enigma. The Great Serpent Mound is a riddle that'll keep you pacing the floor, chasing shadows in the dark. Who built a 1,348-foot serpent you can only fully see from the sky? How'd they align it to stars and solstices with nothing but their minds and hands? Why choose a meteor crater's edge, a place kissed by the cosmos? Was it a tomb for the dead, a temple for the gods, a warning of ancient floods, or something we can't even imagine? The silent coils, the lost obelisk, the lack of writing. It's like a message we're just not getting, a puzzle with half the pieces scattered to the wind. The Serpent Mound doesn't just tell us about ancient Ohio, it flips everything we think we know about what ancient people could do, daring us to dig deeper, to listen harder. What's your theory on what this serpent was meant to say, what it was meant to guard? The Great Serpent Mound is more than a mound of earth. It's a mystery carved into Ohio's hills, a tale of stars, spirits, and survival that still grabs you by the soul. Its coils, its alignments, its silent secrets don't just show us the past. They beg us to keep asking, keep chasing the truth through the dust and shadows. Which piece of this puzzle's got you hooked? The cosmic alignments, the lost obelisk, the ancient floods, or the serpent that guards its secrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep unraveling the mysteries of this epic North American marvel. Catch you in the next one.